Ultimately, all beer is judged on its flavor and its taste and its aroma, and that's what drives people to come back to that same beer. For me, there's a whole tasting methodology that can be quite in depth. And if you were to contrast that with other beers, you would say, "Whoa, this is distinctive." And Keith's does have a distinctive aroma, and we think that's one of the main reasons that people can tell Keith's apart, from other beers. So Alexander Keith's, it would be characterized as a heavier styled beer. Certainly in our market anyway, we'd consider it a heavier styled beer. And that really goes to the malt that we use and goes right back to the brewing process. So in the brew house, we control the amount of conversion of the starch that's present naturally in the malt that we bring in. And when the yeast ferments the sugars, the maltose, a certain amount of residual sugar is left behind. So on Alexander Keith's, one of the things that's very characteristic about Keith's is that we actually leave behind a very high level of this non-fermented sugar. And that's what gives Keith's some of that extra body and also some of that extra head retention. So when you're tasting Keith's, it may taste like a heavier beer, but it's really a function of the amount of unfermented sugars that we intentionally leave behind in the brewing process. So Alexander Keith's Red Amber, it slightly differentiates from Alexander Keith's Ale per se, as it's really the next step up in terms of heaviness, but on terms of taste, you can detect a slightly heavier note in terms of caramel characteristic coming through, both on the nose and on the taste. So on the taste, you can tell it's a little heavier, and on the aroma, that caramel aroma coming through slightly. And of course, it's that slightly richer, darker red amber color coming through.